So in Australia at the moment, like everywhere I guess, CrossFit's going through a crazy growth phase. In terms of number of affiliates, there's probably every other weekend there's a level 1 cert, which is a fairly good correlation to how many affiliates are popping up. The affiliates that we do see, their membership's going through the roof. There's affiliates now who are even capping membership while they consolidate and kind of reassess how they solve some of the scaling problems. So the growth's crazy. There's a lot more awareness of CrossFit in the general fitness community, but also in the general population. The activity around competition is huge at the moment, so virtually every weekend someone's hosting a competition. I think it's just a good fit. The Australian culture loves being outdoors and being fit and athletic, and one thing they love even more than that is competition. So the combination of the two, it's just a great fit. And I guess Australians like to view themselves as being pretty durable and hardy, and a lot of the sorts of things that are synonymous with CrossFit, I guess. It's just a great fit for the Australian psyche. So I used to work with Matt Swift, who's a well-known CrossFit identity here in Australia. And then when he left to go and sort of pursue being a personal trainer, I, partially because I wanted to get fit, partially because I wanted to support his new venture, I was one of his first clients. And then, like anything that he attacks, he thoroughly researched fitness, at the time, and he came across CrossFit at that point, and he started filtering it into the programming he did for us, and more he just sort of started to use it in the training that we were doing, and it went from there. So it wasn't a walk into a box bang experience. It was more easing into it, but you certainly felt the change happen, and you could physically see the change happen too, in terms of the how successful it was. So I trained with Matt, then he affiliated, became CrossFit Brisbane. I went through 3 iterations of that in terms of outgrowing a premises and moving to the next one. And then I had the opportunity to go to Seattle to work with Microsoft, or for Microsoft. So I went there, and one of the prerequisites of making the trip was that there was going to be CrossFit that we could get to, and that certainly wasn't a problem in Seattle. They were all over the place, but there was one right off campus, and a couple of the early HQ trainers in Mike Street and Carrick Clumper. It was their box, so I spent the next probably 2.5 years there. My wife, because we lived a little bit out from where the campus was, she went and actually got a role as a trainer at another CrossFit affiliate called Gravity Janes in Seattle. So I got to train there every now and then, and as a rule, I did a bit of travel with my role with Microsoft, and I'd always visit the local box just to drop in and train with them, and the experience was similar all the way. Everyone was very welcoming, and so I got to see a lot of different CrossFit boxes. But I guess to answer the question, what I hope to achieve, there's a couple of things. I want to help, I guess, bring or put CrossFit on the map in Australia. Obviously the growth is excellent as it is, but you're still always having those conversations about what CrossFit is far too often, and I'm not particularly good at that conversation. So, the more we can get it out there, I think the more mainstream, the more success, and just being able to help push that along in Australia is great. And then the other side of it is, I guess I want to see an Australian standing on the top of the podium at the Games. And a big part of my motivation is building a foundation to help that happen. There's a couple of brands in CrossFit that have a really good foothold to launch from, and I see again Faster is definitely one of those. So given the goals that we just talked about, looking at the options, and we certainly considered starting something ourselves, it was a better choice for us to be able to work with a brand and bring a brand like, again, Faster to Australia, to help us achieve what we want to achieve.